A guy named Daniel got a letter from Volvo last spring. Federal recall notice. NHTSA campaign 25V179. The letter told him not to charge his vehicle above 70%. His $62,000 XC90 T8 Recharge was officially a fire risk. Then, a second letter showed up 2 months later. Another recall. This one for a brake software defect. After coasting downhill in B mode for about a minute and a half, the brakes could fail temporarily. Volvo's fix was a software update. 2 federal recalls, same vehicle, same year, inside of 4 months. By July, owners were filing lawsuits over collapsed resale values. Federal court complaint. A plaintiff specifically alleging that Volvo's recall destroyed his vehicle's market price. Daniel had bought his XC90 3 years ago. Top trim, top engine, hybrid. 40 miles of electric range. The salesman told him it was the smartest luxury SUV on the market. Today, Daniel is upside down on a recalled vehicle nobody wants to buy. Here's the trick. There were actually 2 guys named Daniel who walked onto that same dealer lot 6 months apart. The first Daniel bought the T8 Hybrid Recharge, $62,000. The second Daniel bought the T6 Momentum. Same chassis, same interior, same safety suite. $44,000. 3 years later, the first Daniel is staring at recall letters and lawsuit headlines. The second Daniel is at 120,000 miles on the odometer, daily driving, no problems. $18,000 cheaper, 0 hybrid battery, 0 federal recalls, same Volvo. I'm going to show you exactly how to be the second Daniel, and the specific model year that walks past every single one of these problems. Per Kelley Blue Book, a 2019 XC90 T6 Momentum has a resale value of $17,950. 3-year depreciation on this generation is sitting at 35 to 38%. The original owner ate roughly 10 grand of depreciation before you walked onto the lot. A new 2026 XC90 starts at $62,000. A used 2019 T6 Momentum starts at $18,000. That's a $44,000 gap. 18 grand is just the floor on what you save versus the same vehicle in T8 trim. The real number against new is a lot bigger. But the trick isn't buy used. Every YouTuber says that. The trick is which model year, which engine, which trim, and which one to walk away from completely. Walk away from the T8 Recharge. I'm going to make some people angry with that sentence, so let me back it up with federal documents. NHTSA Recall 25V179, filed March 24, 2025. Roughly 7,400 Volvo plug-in hybrids, including XC90 T8. High voltage battery module internal short circuit. Fire risk. Volvo issued a do not charge above 70% advisory while owners wait for parts. That's federal document number 1. Federal document number 2. NHTSA press release, July 17, 2025. Around 14,000 Volvo plug-in hybrids and electric vehicles. Software defect causing temporary brake failure after coasting in B drive mode. Car and driver covered it the same week. 2 recalls, 4 months apart. Same engine family, same buyer pool. Then there's the math problem the recalls don't even touch. On gas-only mode, the T8 actually gets worse mileage than the T6 because it's hauling around roughly 500 pounds of extra weight from the battery and electric motor. You only break even on fuel if you plug it in every single night and drive under 30 miles a day. Most American buyers don't. So you paid 18 grand more up front. You're getting worse gas mileage. You're sitting on a hybrid battery whose out-of-warranty replacement runs $10,000 to $15,000 at the dealer, and your VIN is sitting in 2 federal recall files. This is why T8 resale values are collapsing while T6 values hold. Skip the T8, buy the T6. 2019 specifically. Why that 1 year and only that year? The 2016 and 2017 XC90s had documented oil consumption problems. Volvo fixed it. The 2018 was the first clean model year, but it still had pre-facelift software gremlins. By 2019, the software, the infotainment, and the engine were all sorted. By 2020, you're inside the recall window on the T8, and the T6 from that year costs 5 grand more than the 2019. 2019 is the unicorn. Post-fix, pre-recall. Maximum depreciation already taken. The engine is Volvo's 2-liter 4-cylinder, turbocharged and supercharged, 316 horsepower. The supercharger fills the bottom end. The turbo handles the top end. It is the smartest small displacement engine on the luxury market. Why Momentum trim and not Inscription? The Inscription costs $8,000 to $10,000 more for wood trim and a Bowers & Wilkins stereo. Same chassis, same engine, same safety suite, same everything that matters past 200,000 miles. Momentum is the smart money pick. Inscription is the ego pick. Now, before you buy one, there are 4 things you inspect. 1. Pull the oil dipstick. Black oil means the previous owner ran extended intervals. Low oil level means they ignored consumption. Either one, walk away. A neglected Volvo turbo engine is a $6,000 mistake. 2. Listen at idle for a whistle near the engine. A whistle from the PCV valve area means the crankcase ventilation is clogged. Per Repair Pal, that fix runs about $170 if you catch it, $2,000 if you don't. 3. Listen for a chirp or rattle at startup. That's the supercharger clutch. Swede Speed has owner reports of clutch failure at 140,000 miles, running about $3,100 at a Volvo specialist. If you hear noise, factor it into the price. 4. Run the VIN through Carfax. One owner, dealer service records. No accidents, no salvage. If the seller cannot hand you the service binder, you walk to the next listing. 4 things, 15 minutes. Saves you 10 grand in mistakes. Buying the right XC90 is half the equation. Keeping it running past 200,000 miles is the other half. That's where most owners lose. I put together a free guide that handles the second half. The Mr. Car Insider Field Manual, 10 maintenance hacks I learned inside the industry. The flashlight test for your air filter that takes 30 seconds and saves a $40 shop fee. The penny test for your tires. The brake fluid glance that prevents a $300 caliper repair. The 2-bucket wash method that protects your paint from swirl marks. The $5 headlight restoration trick that uses toothpaste. 15 minutes on a Saturday saves the average owner over $1,000 a year. Adds years to your engine. Link is in the description. Free, no tricks. Here's the market signal that should tell you to move this week. 2019 XC90 T6 Momentums with 80 to 90,000 miles are sitting around 18 grand. Volvo specialists are saying 2019 through 2021 is the sweet spot. They're not wrong on the platform, but they don't always tell you that the 20 and 21 T8s carry recall paperwork. The 2019 T6 doesn't. If you find one with a clean Carfax, dealer service records, and an owner who can answer questions intelligently about the maintenance, buy it the same week. Do not try to win a $400 negotiation. The same vehicle next month will cost you more because the rest of the market is finally figuring out what we just covered. Be the second Daniel. If you want to know which luxury SUVs crossed 200,000 miles on the original drivetrain without a hybrid battery to fail in the first place, I broke down the only 3 models that clear that bar. That breakdown is on screen now. I'm Mr. Car Insider. I'll see you in the next one.